Alright, welcome back to my channel, guys. It's been a little while, but I'm back. I've been working on some projects for the channel as well as other work, and we're going to get started. This, of course, what I'm trying to do as well is do a little bit more of the album rankings. So I've got Iron Maiden, which is this one, as you can tell in the description. Black Sabbath will be coming up, and also Alan Parsons Project. If you're familiar with my channel and the way I rank albums, then you know what's about to happen. If not, then stay tuned and you will see how I do things. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get to the rankings. The least favorite album by Iron Maiden is The X Factor. This to me is a very boring, subpar Iron Maiden offering. It's got a lot of songs that sound very stock to me. It's very bland, and I mean, it's just not really Iron Maiden for me, and so that's why it ranks last. Nothing against Blaze Bayley or anything, but just Okay, so moving on is the next one's going to be Virtual 11. And this one is barely more inspired for me than the X Factor. This one has a couple of decent tracks. I really like Future Real. But it doesn't move me in any special way either. But at least the music seems to be a little bit more interesting than the X Factor. It's Blaze Bayley's second and final album with Iron Maiden. Next, we're going to move to Dance of Death. Not crazy about the cover. I like Virtual 11 cover better, actually. But this one is probably my least favorite Bruce Dickinson album. It doesn't really compare to the others for me. There's no true standouts on this album except for the exception of Passchendaele, which I think is a great song. But it's just not enough to make it as relevant to me as the other Iron Maiden albums. So now we're going to move on to the next one, and it is Fear of the Dark. We already did Dance of Death. This one is an underrated album a lot from certain Iron Maiden followers. But it's still nothing, it's not really anything to write home about. It's great music, as always, from the guys. Just not a big fan of the songs, with, the exception of probably this title track, Fear of the Dark. I like it. There's a few good songs on it, but I mean, that's really the one that really sticks out to me. And I still think it might be just a tad bit overrated, even though they play it every, show almost. It's still, just doesn't quite do it for me, this album. Next in line is A Matter of Life and Death, and this seems pretty standard fare Iron Maiden for me. It's sort of the Brave New World kind of style of Iron Maiden, which I consider to be the Dream Theater style of prog. Brave New World and A Matter of Life and Death are kind of the Dream Theater era of Iron Maiden to me. They're just not as dark. They just sound more like straightforward prog metal. There's some good tracks on this album. Bruce's vocals sound very strained to me on this album. And there's just not really anything that stands out. I mean, another thing, I'm not a big fan of, it's a solid album, more solid than the previous ones. But, I'm not a big fan of sort of what I consider to be like the military stuff in metal. And, it's no offense or anything. It's just, that doesn't relate to me in any way, because I was never in the military. I almost joined the military, but never did. And I respect, the military, obviously. So it's nothing against them. It's just that sort of stuff just doesn't really appeal to me when I'm listening to heavy metal. So, moving on, Brave New World is next. This, again, the Dream Theater Maiden sound. I call it the Maiden's Dream Theater album. They sound more like Dream Theater on this album than any album. Especially in the percussion and the songwriting. It's like they got the producer of Dream Theater to produce the album or something. I don't know. It's not really a dark album in the old Maiden sense, but it's just sort of a prog metal album with a few standout tracks. I really enjoy The Wicker Man. It's probably my favorite. Next is The Book of Souls. This is the final Iron Maiden album so far. Bruce's voice still sounds pretty strained on this. There's more songs that I enjoy on this. It's heavier, it's harder hitting than the previous efforts. It sounds like it could have been made after No Prayer or Fear. There's not really any bad tracks on it, but it's a pretty solid album. I mean, that's about what I can say for it. Solid album. Next is going to be The Final Frontier, and out of the post 80s 90s Maiden, this is probably my choice, or definitely my choice. It's the elaborate metal sort of offering, very, very progressive as well. I mean, this one's kind of in the feel to me of Somewhere in Time or Seventh Son. I've listened to this one a lot more than the other that I've named. I found it has more of an epic feel to it, as in progressive epic. It sounds heavier, less like Dream Theater, thank goodness, than Brave New World or Matter of Life and Death, and it's more enjoyable than Book of Souls for me. Next is 1983's Peace of Mind, and now I know a lot of people rank this one really high, or even number one. This album has a very gritty production to it. Brings it sort of back down to the street level of Iron Maiden, I guess. The debut album, sort of, just not as dark to me. Again, it has some songs on it that's Where Eagles Dare's alright. Revelation, I like. The Trooper, which is just a phenomenal song. The Trooper's it is the best song on this album. I just never could get into this album as much, and I really tried. I like it, but I just couldn't get into it as much as the ones that I'm going to name. I find it to have some, kind of substandard tracks. I hate to say that, but I mean, it's sort of a middle of the road listen to me. I just don't go back to it that much unless I'm listening to Trooper. So, sorry. Peace of Mind. Next is Power Slave. This is a 1984 very ambitious effort as well when the guys went to tour this album. This was sort of the beginning of the bombastic, ambitious, proggy Iron Maiden. I think this is the beginning of what Iron Maiden would sound like in the previous albums to come. This kind of gives you a taste of that. Somewhere in Time, Seventh Son of Seventh Son. The sort of prog metal, twin guitar attack with various themes, and you've got melody and harmony and sort of a slicker production. Not as rugged as Peace of Mind. You got Aces, you got 2 Minutes to Midnight, you got Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which is just unbelievable, and you got Power Slave. What a killer album. Power Slave. Next is going to be probably a shocker for some of you, because this one would rank number one for a lot of people. It is ranked number one on Prog Archives, and that is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. This is one of the greatest prog metal albums ever made. It was made the same year as Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche, so you got two prog metal masterpieces in 1 year, 1988. Very melodic, very complex, an epic concept album you got here. It flows very well. There's a few tracks that don't do it for me. I really enjoy The Evil That Men Do. I really enjoy Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. What a progressive masterpiece that song is. I enjoy most of the album, actually. There's a couple of little moments in the album I'm not crazy about. I don't really care for the intro to the album. I love the music. The music comes in, it's really a rock song. They should have just stuck with the music instead of Seven Deadly, that sounded too much like Genesis, early fairy airy stuff. I just didn't like that. And then you've got Can I Play With Madness, which is what I call Iron Maiden's Kansas song, where they come in like Carry On My Wayward Son, but it's more like, Can I Play With Madness? Don't care for that introduction, but I love the song in general. If they would have just taken those two things out and just used the music and then come in with song, a lot better in my opinion. You might like it, but you can be wrong. So next is No Prayer for the Dying. Yeah, shocker, isn't it? Yeah, no doubt. This album is a journey back to the Killers era Iron Maiden. That sort of raw street, just a solid, hard metal album. It's raw, it's menacing, it's gritty, it's just like pure wickedness. But it's fun as well. Like I said, takes you back to the earlier stuff. It's chock full of great tracks. A few of my favorite all-time Iron Maiden songs, which would be Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter and Holy Smoke. I also enjoy Hooks in You. I also enjoy No Prayer for the Dying. Tail Gunner's a great song. Good way to start the album. I really like this album. There's a few tracks that, I might skip over, but for the most part, this is a solid listen to me. I mean, this is a good times for my ears. A throwback to Dickinson, more dirty. Well, actually, it's even grittier to me than his vocals than Number of the Beast. I mean, this is a dirty, sort of unpolished Bruce. And you can still tell it's Bruce, but it's almost got a Diano feel to it. And that just I really love this album. It's so different than what they were doing, and it takes me back in time. Next is going to be the debut album, speaking of gritty. This is a perfect combination of the two opposing genres at the time, which were prog and punk. Iron Maiden took a little elements of both and combined them together. Very underrated album. This is aggressive, visceral music combined with very tight, progressive elements. This is a absolute solid album. I love every song off this album. Great, pioneering album. It's genuinely satisfying to listen to, intense, but yet it's sort of theatrical, and it does have some complex music. I mean, some of it sounds simple, but try to play it. I mean, it's tough. The Number of the Beast is next. Some say this is the greatest heavy metal album of all time. Some say it's the greatest Iron Maiden album of all time. I can understand where these people are coming from. It is truly a metal masterpiece. It is a diamond of heavy metal. One of the best. It's just sort of a grandiose exercise in heavy metal mastery. I mean, you even got the devil thrown in there. I love the cover. Great cover. I would change a few things. I would remove Invaders. I would start the album with Number of the Beast. Well, I mean, what a killer way to start an album if they'd have done that. I would replace Gangland with Total Eclipse, which is on the deluxe editions. To me, that would make this album even better. But, it is what it is. And there are some generic tunes, like I just named, Gangland, Invaders. But most of it, for the most part, is high-quality stuff. And then there are masterpiece songs on this. You got Number of the Beast. You got Total Eclipse in the deluxe editions. You got The Prisoner. Oh, wow. And then you have the finale, the Smithsonian level magnum opus, Hallowed Be Thy Name. Oh, my God. That is such a killer song. I can listen to that song anytime. Anytime I can listen to it. Number of the Beast, coming in at number 3. Okay, so number 2. Number 2 was my favorite album for many, many years because it was the first Iron Maiden album that I'd ever listened to. It has 4 of my favorite all-time Maiden songs on it. and it is Somewhere in Time. Caught Somewhere in Time, Wasted Years, Sea of Madness, Stranger in a Strange Land, which has one of the greatest guitar solos ever put together by Adrian Smith. Adrian Smith is the David Gilmour of metal. The emotion and the beauty that he puts into these songs, but at the same time, you've still got that he can just rip your face off with just blistering a guitar. I mean, he is just a guitar maestro. So, I really enjoy this album, with the possible exception of the sort of jazzy hands, Heaven Can Wait. Don't too much care for that one. There's a lot of lush textures because they've mixed a lot of... this was the first album that they had synthesizers, but they didn't use them in a very cheesy way like the 80s usually did. They used them perfectly on this album. Some of the most relevant optimum progressive metal music ever made on this album. The production is fantastic. The songwriting is great. The album cover is just, incredible. I mean, this is a total 5-star masterpiece. My only drawback is probably Heaven Can Wait, which I don't care for that much. So that's number 2. And number 1, taking the place of Somewhere in Time, is Killers. This is a step beyond the debut album for me. Better production. It has some of my favorite songs of all time. There's not one song off this album that I dislike. I will listen to this entire album without skipping any songs. And I can't say the same for like Somewhere in Time or Number of the Beast. I will skip some songs on those albums. I will not skip any songs off Killers. I love every song off of it. I love the killer lead guitar solo by Adrian when he's doing Wrathchild. I mean, love that. Then he does the same thing in Another Life. You've got Killers, you've got Another Life, you've got Wrathchild. I love the opener, The Ides of March. Every song off this album is just unbelievable. I absolutely adore this album. I think that it is, well, here you go. My favorite Iron Maiden album, Killers. The cover is my favorite cover. The album is my favorite album. It has my favorite song of all time by Iron Maiden, Wrathchild. Absolute number 1. Somewhere in Time, of course, was very close, but Somewhere in Time was just the nostalgia making it number 1. Killers is really my favorite album, and that's it for Iron Maiden. Next up, I'm doing Black Sabbath and Alan Parsons Project. We'll move forward with some more stuff. Appreciate you guys watching, listening to me ramble on. And I'd like to know what your favorite Iron Maiden albums are. What do you think of my favorite Iron Maiden albums? This is not a competition. I'm not trying to rank the Iron Maiden albums of what I consider to be the greatest Iron Maiden albums. These are my choices, the ones that I go back and listen to. I mean, I don't think that No Prayer for the Dying is a better album than, Peace of Mind or Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I would rank those albums, if I was doing a universal list, over that album. But I'm just saying these are the albums that I go back to and listen to, the ones that I choose. So tell me what you choose. Tell me what you think. If you like it, share it. Don't like it, don't like it. I mean, we all got our opinions. Hey, come back and watch for Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden. Alan Parsons Project. Thank you so much for putting up with me. And you know what I'm going to say? If you're a subscriber, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We're just having fun here, guys. So until next time, you guys take care.